Welcome back, dude and dudettes, to another wild episode of Send It Mate. We're here to talk about all things hunting and outdoors. And today, we've got something that'll keep your gear running smoother than a dingo's getaway.
That's right. Our show is brought to you by High Caliber, the gun and knife oil company that knows how to keep your firearms and blades in tip-top shape.
High Caliber is like the secret sauce for hunters, anglers, and outdoorsy folk everywhere. It's like the magic potion that makes your gun and knives happier than a dog with two tails.
You know, guys, I've been using High Caliber oil for a while now, and let me tell you, it's the duck's nuts. My rifle practically sings a lullaby when I take it out hunting.
And speaking of lullabies, ever tried sneaking up on a deer with a squeaky gun? It's a prime way to end up with no venison in the freezer. You'll be hungrier than a vegan at a bacon festival.
Absolutely. But with High Caliber oil, your gun will be quieter than a ninja in moonlight. You'll be stalking your prey with the grace and stealth of a mountain lion.
High Caliber doesn't just keep things quiet, it also prevents rust and corrosion, so you won't find your gear looking like it spent a season at the bottom of a creek.
That's right, and for you knife enthusiasts out there, High Caliber has got you covered too. Your trusty blade will slice through anything smoother than butter on a hot biscuit.
So, folks, don't let your gear become a rusty, squeaky mess. Head on over to highcaliber.com.au and grab a bottle of their oil today.
And if you use the code SENDITMATE at checkout, you'll get a special discount. I say again, use the code SENDITMATE for all your oil slick, stealthy hunting needs.
Thanks to High Caliber, you'll be sending it in style and silence.
So, gear up, oil up, and send it, mate. High Caliber, the ultimate oil for the ultimate hunter.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our episode with Cody Gearon. If you haven't listened to part one, what are you doing? Go back and listen to that first.
But if you have listened to part one, sit down, crack a beer, and enjoy.
No, anyway, so my hunt was quite different to yours that morning, and we split up. I went a bit further up the hill and then went right to the top boundary, basically. So I got up there. I took my time. So I just went slow. I didn't want to gas myself. I'm dehydrated at this point. I'm still not feeling 100%, but I'm like, I want a deer. So got up to the top of this hill and then sort of started walking parallel to the top boundary, or the scrub line parallel to the top boundary. And I could hear them roaring when I got to the very top. And pleasantly, there was more than the one I'd heard the afternoon before. But they all sounded like they were off the property over in the state forest. And I was like, bugger, they've moved. I'm not going to be able to go chase them. But I just kept going. And then I sort of identified a spot where I wanted to sort of end up where I could sit into some scrub and I could look over a bit of an open patch. So I'm just sitting in there, just pre-dawn, listening, and I recorded it on my phone. And unfortunately, it hasn't picked it up as much as I would have liked. But I'm sitting there pre-dawn, and anyone who's a hunter knows how beautiful it is that time of day. You're just sitting in the bush listening to like the bush wake up, basically. All the birds and animals and whatever carrying on. Yeah,
I've got countless hours on my phone. Well, I've tried to record like the roars in the morning and stuff like it's. In person, it's clear as day and it's super loud. Then you go back to listen to it later on your phone and it's like you can barely hear it.
Oh, it's such a bugger because I'm listening to it back on my phone. And I'm like, all you can hear is the birds and the wind and the leaves in the immediate vicinity. And the loudest thing live is actually the roars, and it just doesn't capture it. So I wish I had like proper recording gear up there.
I actually, on the first morning, so I had the GoPro with me. I think GoPro Hero 12. So I was recording the roaring there because I couldn't do anything else other than shoot with the camera, other than shoot with the rifle. And I'm actually surprised with the GoPro quality and how well it picks up the roaring. I'll post the video, but I rate it. Like, so if you're looking for something that's affordable and easy to carry, GoPro's a go.
Bloody hell, product placement, not sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag will be sponsored.
But so I'm just sitting there pre-dawn. I got to the top of the hill and I'm just sitting on a log listening to everything. And I'm like, fucking hell, they're all over the other side of this property. I can't get to them. And then I'd say it was right on dawn pretty much. And I looked across to my left and I'm like, oh, there's a couple of red does there by a tree. I'm like, okay, didn't notice them, but cool. And then next thing I know, out walks a stag, and I'm like, hello, sunshine. I didn't see you. And then he was roaring at the others that were off the property. I'm like, yes, we're on here. So I sort of set up for a shot initially, and he was probably, I think he was about 220. I ranged him, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'll just wait for a good shot here. And it's been a minute since bloody hell, I can't think of when the last year before that was, but it's been months anyway. And I'm lining up looking through the sights of this thing. And I cannot believe how much I was shaking. Like, it's like shot
It's like your first
plenty of
animal
animals, and I don't reckon I've ever I've shook that much. I don't know what the hell was going
Buck
on.
fever kicks in hard.
Oh my God. I'm like, it's not my first. Like, what's going on here? I was just shaking, and I had to physically grab a hold of myself and be like, calm the fuck down. Like, here's your opportunity. Don't fuck it up. The last thing you want to do is miss, or don't take a shot at all because you're shaking.
What was, when you looked at the deer at this point, what was your thought of the deer at the time?
So I'm like, cool, stag, we're on here. He looks like he's at least 12 pointer. Like, I didn't see all the points, but I'm like, that's going to be my biggest red. So he's good enough for me.
He's good enough. He's a shooter in your eyes. Like you say, you weren't obviously. What was the biggest red you shot before that?
Like a spiker.
Spiker, wasn't it? Yeah.
So any deer's a good deer. So you weren't blinded by the size of it just because you just saw antlers. So that's a good deer. So you weren't getting overwhelmed by the fact it was a big deer because obviously you didn't realise that it was at that time.
Not at all. And look, you'd mentioned some point counts of some deer that had been seen on the property. That wasn't even my head. At this point, I'm just like, this is an antlered red, which is going to be my first because I've only shot a spiker up to that date. And so I'm like, bloody hell, I'm on here. Whatever, this is good. And I could see it was a sizable, stag. So I'm like, cool, this is on. I'm shooting this one. I don't want to miss this opportunity, but I just had to take a minute to calm myself down. Anyway, the doe sort of trotted up the hill, down a valley and up the other side, and they started trotting up that hill, and he followed along, and he's still roaring back at the ones over the hill. I'm like, don't fucking run off. So I sort of moved about 10 metres closer, set up for a good shot, and I'm like, as soon as he stops, I'm taking my shot here. I'd calm myself down by this point. So I'm like, cool, good, I'm settled. He turned side on. He was mid-roar and just about out of breath, took my shot, smacked him. He fell over on the spot, did not move. Wigged out for a little bit, but did not run at all. And I'm like, he had no idea I was there, and he had no breath left in his lungs. And I reckon that's, other than, double lung shot, but he was just dropped on the spot. He didn't run at all. So I really do think if they've got adrenaline and they know you're there, that helps them just get that bit of a kick on and they run. And I was like, I fucking yelled straight away. Soon, I watched him, and I was watching him. I'm like, don't run off. I'm like, he's not moving, sick. But then out of the corner of my eye, another stag came out that I hadn't seen at all, and he ran off. Wasn't as big, but I'm like, fuck, if Josh was here, there's another opportunity here. Or if Shannon was with me, there's another opportunity here. But by the same token, I reckon that's the most excited I've ever been, because every other deer I've ever shot, there's been someone with me. And I've shared that experience. So it's bittersweet in the fact that I've always had someone there to share that moment and the joy of it. But then the achievement of doing it all on your own was it overwhelmed me. I was like, fuck yes. I'm doing this on my own steam. No one else has spotted it and then I've shot it, or no one else has sort of ranged it while I've taken the shot or made any suggestion. I picked where I went on my own instinct. I spotted it on my own. I shot the thing on my own. But then, as we all know, the work begins. So once I knew he wasn't going anywhere, I was just yelling. I'm like, if anything, if Cowshy didn't hear the shot, maybe he'll hear me yelling and come up the hill and help me. But
no, he was too busy fucking snoring.
I just had to yell.
I was walking about the bush. I heard that shot, actually. It was just probably an hour after daybreak, I think. Or probably less.
This was 6:30
Half an hour?
in the morning.
Yeah.
Like just like 10 minutes after sunrise, I shot him. So
Yeah.
I went down the little depression, back up the other side to where he was. Did the obligatory photos, which were fucking terrible. I kind of wish someone was there to help me take some photos because I was just like so excited anyway. And then I'm like, well, I can't get a hold of Couchy. Maybe if I get to the top of this hill, I can get a hold of Josh. So I got up to the top, got like a couple of bars, rang Josh. Hey, bro, deer down. Oh, yep, no worries. I'll come up, help you. Sweet. I said, I'm screenshotted, sent him where I was, got that message away. Sweet. Went back down and started addressing what I had to do next. And then message came back through. Mate, where's the keys? Where's Couchy's keys? I'm like, oh, fuck. So I went back up the hill, gave him a call. He's told me they're on his dresser. Like, he's assured me they're there. I can't find them anywhere, man. Like, I've tried. I'm like, try harder. Fucking find them.
Try harder, Daddy.
Yeah. Come on, Daddy. So going back down, I'm like, oh, God, this deer's fucking heavy. So I wheeled him around a bit. So I had his head pointing up the hill.
Well, considering how big he is, you want to be heavy.
Yeah, pretty much. And I've counted the points, and I counted 15. And I'm like, well, there's these two little nubs here. No, surely we're not counting those, but 15 pointer, fuck yes. So I've started the process of caping him out, getting all the meat. So I had some meat bags with me, and a cheat there is just get some pillowcases. That's all I use, $5 each. And so I had
Kmart special.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Kmart special. Shout out to Ryan. And yeah, so I got the hindquarters off. And then I'm like, this thing's still friggin' heavy. So I'm like, I'll get all the guts out as well just to make it a bit more maneuverable. And what I did was I had some paracord in my bino harness, which is just handy to have. So this thing's on its back, but it kept rolling over and flopping around the place. So I got both these front legs and basically I tied him out to some shrubs so he would stay in one spot so I could do what I needed to do. So, yeah, by this stage I'm like, fucking, surely he's found these keys, back up the hill again. Josh, what's going on? Mate, these keys are not here. I cannot help you out. I'm like, fuck. All right, I'm doing this on my own.
In the meantime, I think about 2 hours into my walk that morning, I thought I felt my pockets and I felt keys in my pocket. And for a split second, I'm like, fuck, I've got the keys to the car. I didn't leave them with the car. And then I realized, no, Caleb dropped me off and went up the hill to his spot. So I've got my keys. And yeah, I had them on the dresser. But in the morning, again, I'm not great in the morning. I must have just picked them up with everything else and walked out.
Yep.
Unlucky, but I just want you to earn it yourself pretty much. So
Look,
I was just looking after you.
I did. So I filled 5 bags of meat and I'm like, I am not a Josh. I cannot carry all of this plus the cape and the head. I'm like, I'll be lucky if I can carry the cape and the head. Like that was heavy enough on its own. So I'm like, all right, the meat's going, I'll go down this little depression, back up this other side. There's a big ass tree there. That'll have shade for enough time. So 5 bags, ferried that down, up, once I'd processed all that, loaded up the head and the cape into my backpack and started the trek back down the hill. And like after 2 days of dehydrating myself and feeling like shit, I was like, bloody hell, I've earned this. And why do we do things that are so fucking hard? But it still felt like it was worth it. I'm like, if I'm going to be dead by the time I get back to this car. So I think, what was it, 11:30?
Yeah, it was close to 12.
Like close enough to 12. I'm coming down the hill. I'm like, where is this guy? Like, what's he doing? He's probably like, he's either abandoned me or he's asleep. So yeah, you spotted me. I'm coming down the hill. What did you think when you saw me? Like, did you see the antlers poking out either side of me straight away?
I did. And I think I saw antlers and I'm like, fuck it, another one's got someone. Because I hadn't got a big. So you get to that moment where you're like, fuck you. And then you're like, that actually looks like a pretty good deer. So it's that sort of to and fro internally.
Oh,
But at that point, I thought like maybe something happened to you. So I was just happy that you were still on your 2 feet and coming back.
thanks, mate. I appreciate it.
I didn't have to go find you because I really didn't want to do that.
It's another bittersweet moment, isn't it? Like you're happy for your mate, but by the same token, you're like, fuck, I wish I got that.
100%.
But yeah, no, as I said, it felt like quite an achievement. And I'll definitely say it's my proudest morning hunting because I did it on my own. Other than you did help me get back up and ferry the 5 bags of meat back and get them in the car. So I do thank you for that. But yeah, it did feel like an achievement to do that on my own without someone there. But also it would have been nice to share it. Plus, if you're with me, you could have shot the other stag. But anyway.
I could have shot that stag.
We move on. We get back to camp, though, eventually. Like, it was about, lunchtime by the time we got back to Josh?
No, it was probably like 1:30.
I don't think it was that. Anyway, that's semantics. We got back to Josh.
Yeah.
And reversed the car up and open up. he didn't give much away, did he?
Nah.
It's like, he was like, oh, yeah, man, sick. It was sort of just like, oh, yeah, bloody hell, Caleb. Fuck, here we go again.
You somehow have a knack of just getting some monsters. Like, well, obviously there's bigger reds out there, but it's one of the biggest I've seen in person. So you just have some knack just to get like your fellow. It was half red, that thing. I don't know how you do it, man.
Well,
it makes it worse when I get no shots, no looks.
This is my formula. This is now my formula for shooting big deer. You have to overcome adversity of some sort, and you have to have passed something up. On the
but
same
your
trip.
adversity is like a slight climbing a hill.
No, my adversity was the runs and feeling crook. I passed up the boar, and then I shot a big red. My fallow,
call it a bore, but
my fallow, I passed up the chocolate buck.
Mm-hmm.
I had a extremely late night on the beers and was hungover as fuck when I shot the fallow. So, and I'd walked 82 kilometers in the previous 5 days. So that was overcoming adversity. So I felt like I earned that one.
Yeah.
I feel like I own both of them, actually.
Nah. I don't know how, but somehow I'll work it out. You didn't. No, it was a very good deer and you deserve it. So up here, I got a little bit more access to some reds. So out of all of us, I'm glad that I'm the one that missed out. So
that's a fair point, man. Like you've got some new hunting grounds.
Like if you've seen the deer around here compared to what's up there, you're going to be greatly disappointed.
Look, Cody, like there's always I can just make a phone call and be like, "Hey, bud, I've got the weekend off. I'm going to come down and catch up with you." So if I rock up one day, just don't be surprised. I'll go see your uncle again.
But no, it was.
He's starting to lock gates now. I've been told.
Yeah, okay, it wouldn't surprise me.
That's fair. That's fair, I reckon.
No, you did deserve that deer, and I'm going to get a giggle now just because the fact that you're going to find it hard pressed to shoot another red or shoot another fallow, and be happy with the rack.
True. Like I'm definitely going to be a lot more selective on fallow and reds now, and I reckon fallow wise, I'll probably go for something. I probably won't shoot anything that big ever again, but I reckon I'll just go for something really unique, like maybe a chocolate buck again, or an albino or something like that. But that's kind of still exciting for me. Like, it's not like I'm going to retire shooting fallow and red now. Like, I can move on to the next species and just.
Oh, that's a good thing about deer and nature in general. Like, there's no all is the same kind of thing. They're all unique in their own different way. So,
yep. And look, there's always going to be the meat component of hunting deer as well. So, it's not like I'm never going to shoot a fallow or a red again. Let's be honest. So. And I still don't get, because I've told this story like to several people now, and they're like, "Oh, you took the meat off of him? what are you doing? What are you eating that for? That's going to taste disgusting. I'm like,
I don't get why people have
what
that
are you
idea.
on about? Why are people so picky when it comes to eating deer that are shot during the rut?
And it's cost you what? Oh, I guess you got the fuel and food and all that being there, but the ammunition is $2 to get how many kilos of meat?
Their mindset's coming from the flavour of the meat, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they
Yeah.
go, oh, it tastes gross. But like I've shot.
But it's same with any game meat that you come across. It's all in the preparation. Like if you do everything right, it's going to be a phenomenal eating animal. But if you get slack and you do the wrong trims and cuts, then it's going to taste shit.
Yeah. This is what I mean. Like, are people licking the underside of a red deer that's pissed on itself before they take a mouthful of meat? Like, I don't understand. Like, is this what everyone says? Like, oh,
Nature's sauce.
you didn't take the meat, did you? Oh, they piss all over themselves. Oh, it's disgusting. I'm like,
But then again, that's why people hesitate with eating pig as well. Just mainly because I guess the conceived theory that all pigs have worms.
conceived theory.
Conceived theory, that's not a word. I'm not sure if it's a sentence.
Well, no, it is. I don't know if it's entirely what you mean.
But like riddled with worms. Like there's a
Perception?
perception, that's the one.
Okay, cool.
I couldn't find the words, so I was dancing around it. But
Well, people will say the same thing about deer too. So like, oh, I don't eat deer because they're riddled with worms. I'm just like, well, you can. There's science. You can tell if something's got worms or not. Usually, they're in poor condition. They're very shitty on the rear end. Like there's ways you could tell if they've got worms.
Mm.
But like with pigs as well, it's like they've got a heap of diseases and stuff as well. They've got tuberculosis and brucellosis and Q fever and all the shit going through them. So I think that's why people are a little bit more hesitant with pig. But like with deer, there's not really any excuse of why not to eat deer other than like you probably just don't know how to butcher properly.
mm-hmm.
Have you eaten the pig kicking around your joint? I reckon when we had you on the pod last, you said you didn't.
No, I haven't. And
Is that same sort of like reasons?
Yeah, the disease side of things is mostly why.
Yeah.
Usually because because they right now, like I'm going through the process of setting up pig traps because because it's winter's hit a bit sooner than normal, and they're tearing up the place. So where you guys seen it all play out, it looks worse than that now.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
And like now, so like if anything drops dead, like if there's a deer that's been shot or a cow that's fucking died from calving, like the pigs are going to buddy get into that. So that's like eating a rotting meat, which with that mindset, it's like how Ranella talks about black bears. Like a black bear that's eating blueberries, that's going to be a phenomenal eating bear. But like a bear that's been eating rotten salmon, he's going to smell like rotten salmon. Well, I acute that the same with pigs.
Yeah, true.
Like a pig eating a rotten bit of beef that's been rotting out in the rain for weeks on end. I'm not going to be convinced that's going to be a good or healthy eating animal.
Yeah. I'm sure people will be disagreeing with this, but and that makes sense, and I'll believe you.
Well, that pig that I passed up, he was feeding.
That didn't look too bad.
He was feeding under an apple tree, so it did cross my mind. Like it was a random apple tree just in the middle of this hill. I'm sure you know where we're talking, Cody. And I was like,
I've got a bit of an idea.
I wonder what he tastes like if he's just been eating apples. I passed him
In that scenario, and considering the time of year that it was, I'd be game to try it. But like the majority of the time, I wouldn't be.
Yeah. Is there a place? Because I know you see it on Steve Ranella and Meat Eater that I think there's a points either pig or certain places where they hunt deer. They go get the meat tested to test for anything that's wrong with it. Is there a way in Australia that we do that? Does anyone do that?
That will be probably done through the chiller boxes. Like for when they harvest pigs, they've got to leave the head on and they've got to leave the heart and the lung in there.
Yeah. Okay.
And when they go through, they can check the heart and lung. And if the heart and lung's got spots on it, then they could end the whole pig. But they come back clean, so Righto goes in for the next process and they cut the head off and there's a part on the head. If it's a yellow color, then they condemn the whole pig, or if it's white, means, all right, that's healthy, and it pushes on through for the next process. And they do the same thing for roos, and they do have accreditations to do deer as well.
Mm.
Only fallow, because they won't take red deer due to their size, and it's an OH&S issue. So that's why you won't find red deer in the chiller boxes in New South Wales.
Not for Josh.
So, no. Honestly, I like to see him try to hang up a whole 125 kilo dress buddy staying up on the back of the ute by himself, actually.
Oh, he barely gets up to the top of the back of the ute by himself, like let alone carrying a deer. He's only a short fella.
Look, he'll do it, but then he'll like be dead for 3 days afterwards. I've seen him lift some crazy shit. Like, he is tiny, but he can lift some shit. He just, I don't know if it's from all those years in the army. He can just carry shit. It's
just stubbornness.
It's
That's
annoying.
what it is. And he's stubborn.
He is. Like, he won't tell you he's in pain.
No.
He will not. He will just suffer through it.
Yeah, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
True.
But yeah.
But yeah. No.
All right. So yeah, like that you know of, there's no place you can go get your meat tested in case you're sort of worried about it that you know of here in Australia.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Well, it'd be good if someone listening does know this, because I would like to know that. Because there's times where you just would rather be sure. You don't, like, you've dealt with the animal, you've got all this meat, and then you start second guessing it. So instead of taking it home and feeding it to your family and friends, you can actually go to get tested. And then if it is something wrong with it, you turf it, or if it's good, you're good. So
yeah, I mean,
let us know.
If there's any sort of doubt, then you pretty much just turf it. But I don't reckon I certainly haven't run into any deer that I was even remotely worried about. They've all been super healthy.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of, over the journey, plenty of rabbits and foxes and whatever you come across. Not that we eat them, but plenty of them we've run into. You're like, well, that's sick. Like, look at the eyes on that rabbit, or look at the liver on that rabbit, or that fox is mangy as, or whatever else. It's pretty obvious it's going to be not good. So interesting one. Josh had that pig that time. He shot that in New South Wales, I reckon, and got that back to SA, and that was rank. Like, and I smelt that because we were living together at the time. He got back with that, opened the esky, and I was like, fuck no, we ain't eating that. It had a smell about it. Just, nah, like, don't even bother, man.
Yeah.
Well, I had Brendan Cook. He shot a young boar with his bow, and he took the meat off that, and I think he smoked it. And I actually never heard back from him to work out like
ever again
if it was good eating.
Sorry, Katie. Keep going.
I know he did all, like, he put it in the smoker and he did all the stuff to it, but I never got like a taste test report back from him about it. So like I should hit him up about it actually. Because like, it was that long ago, I forget what it tasted like.
It's funny though, like when you eat as much meat as we do, and people that don't, or they don't hunt, somehow I've become the foremost authority on whether meat's gone off or not, if it's still all right to eat. Like, my missus' family went around there and there was some questionable lamb chops, and they're like, Caleb, you'd be able to tell. Do you reckon these are still all right? They've been in the fridge. We bought them on Thursday. It's now Sunday. You reckon these are still all right? I'm smelling them. I'm like, well, yeah, like they smell all right. They've been refrigerated the whole time? Yeah. They're fresh from the butcher on Thursday. I'm like, we're good to go. But if you're worried, just cook them extra well.
Yeah, but would you trust a hunter on that, or would you? I'm on the theory that a hunter will probably eat a little sort of worse off meat compared to the average person.
Potentially.
Like, it's not going to be worse off for us. It's going to be like, oh, that's borderline. That's still good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, and I've got an iron gut as well, so I don't feel like I'm the best person to like what I would eat versus someone else. Hey, not on the trip though. That was well off brand. So
Yeah, a little bit of dick cheese from Josh, and you fucking.
Well, I did have 2 extra days, so maybe it was during that time that he passed something on to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We grots. When we go away, we don't have the creature comforts. There's not as much hand washing as there probably should be, but it's never been an issue.
No. I guess that's probably why your immune system is good, because you expose yourself to those things. But yeah.
True. Don't worry about
pretty much
vaccines.
sort of
just eat some dick cheese and dirt and you'll be right.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's on the bloody food pyramid somewhere.
Yeah.
Dairy.
It was a good trip though.
And carbohydrates. No, I really enjoyed myself. The weather was pretty good.
Definitely come back.
Yeah. If you'll have us, mate, we'll definitely be back and probably be good to get out with a hunt with you. So we either, I don't know, do the Vic High Country, or you can come down to SA and we'll tow Shannon down here somehow as well. We'll all go to Queensland. Who knows? The country is opening up for us all.
Yeah, I might be able to get some access up here in Queensland. So, never know.
I'm pretty keen to get up there and get some dogs. Couchy.
Yeah, I'm actually going this weekend. So, got the 2D3 ready, and guy's having some dramas on his property for dogs. So they've been I guess the biggest issue is his missus is pissed off with their dogs getting stirred up by the dingoes and wild dogs. They probably wouldn't be dingoes; they'd be classified as feral dogs or whatever. They're stirring up their actual dogs at home because they're coming in closer. So, and their numbers are slowly rising. So they're a cattle farmer. So unless they're calving, it's probably not much of an issue, but it's just they're about. So it'd be a good way to sort of scout his property because he's got reds kicking about there as well. But it's just going to be heading there this weekend just to see how many dogs I can get. We'll see if we see any. My luck, I won't see any.
Yeah, nice, man.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And I might start probably applying a bit of focus onto that and seeing if I can help him out. And then he's got a few neighbours. I think he's got the same issue as well. So I might, spread the wings here.
I can't remember if we asked you or not, Cody. Did you see many dogs around where you were?
Yeah, there are dogs in the area, but they're a little bit more to the east to where we are.
Yep.
We did have I think I was like in year 5 when we had a dog killing there for a couple of months and killed about $12,000 worth of sheep.
Oh, that was that long ago. Did you say 5 years or when you were in year 5?
When I was in grade 5, yeah.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, and I was like the first proper dingo wild dog attack in the area at that time, and then more attacks have started happening across the district from there. But since that one dog, we haven't had another attack since. But that's because the state forest and the national parks get on top of the 1080 baiting program to sort of keep the cockies from getting the shits. But obviously, some pig doggers don't agree with that because they don't want their dogs to get poisoned. But yeah, that one's a bit hard one. It's the same with tropicals. Like they feel like pig doggers feel like 1080 baiting is equivalent to tropicaling because it's like it's stopping them from getting out and having access to go out and hunt. Yeah,
I guess that's the sort of balance that these control measures are sort of they're dancing around. Is they're obviously pissing off a lot of hunters just because it's taking away or lessening our chances to do what we love. But also there's something that's got to be done as well. So, obviously they're probably most of the reason why there's no or barely any dog attacks around your area. Otherwise, it sounds like they would have spread a while ago.
There's a bit of science and whatnot that goes behind it, but usually when they pack gets too big for its home range and they kick the pups out and the pups extend out. So the idea is sort of that you want to stay on top of the dog population to stop them from expanding out onto the sheep range.
Yep.
But then you'll get some of these other fellas that say, if there's swamp wallabies and things around, they would never attack a sheep, which is fucking bullshit because they'll go for the easiest prey, which will be a newborn lamb.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's sort of there's always going to be that argument between government biologists and bloody people on the land and everyone in between.
I was actually thinking about getting some sheep up here, and then got told that sheep are pretty much a big no-no up here, at least where I am, just because of the fact there is dogs and you have to pen up your sheep each night. Otherwise, they'll just pick them off. So there was a person that probably about 5-10K away, that's where they bought sheep, and then, they got none left anymore. But the drama, as soon as they had the sheep, they started seeing the dogs. Before then, they didn't see them.
Bloody hell.
Because everyone's got cattle up here, so yeah. Actually, camels down the road as well.
Camels.
So there's probably about 20-odd camels this guy's got. It's pretty cool.
Fair enough. Something a bit different for you?
Yeah.
Nice, man. Well,
I
there
see
we go.
camels every morning.
Thirsty camel.
No, there's 3 camels that live on the side of the road between Bathurst and over on there.
Okay.
Right near the O'Connell pub. You probably didn't see it, but they usually stick their head out to the side of the road to buddy pick the grass.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I thought there was a joke coming there, but
I thought it was an innuendo there for a second. I'm like, where are you going with this? We're a PG podcast.
I knew you guys would think that. That's why I said it.
Oh, you actually did get us with a good one while we were up there. What did you say? Oh, yeah, I've got a Lambo in the shed. We were like sitting around, like looking at your shed. Oh, that's a big shed. Surely there's some stuff that fits. Oh, yeah, I've got a Lambo in the shed. Fucking
we got Lamborghini.
Tractor. What a letdown. You did actually get my hopes up. I'm like, fuck yeah, because I lusted after Lamborghinis my entire childhood. I'm like, I'm going to own one at some point in my life. But no,
you're not.
Fucking tractor.
Well, I guess it's
I
lying.
didn't lie.
Well, you didn't, so I can't fault you there. But yeah, actually, side note, I'm watching at the moment Clarkson's Farm season 3. I'm not a farmer, but I've absolutely loved that show. Yeah, I reckon you got me onto it, Couchy.
Yeah,
just like nothing to watch one night when we were at yours, and we started watching Clarkson's Farm. Now every season, I'm like, shit, yeah, it's just funny as hell. My God,
he's a good laugh.
This season, for anyone who hasn't seen it yet,
Caleb's funny as well.
It's absolutely killer because he has a competition this season between him and this is Jeremy Clarkson and his farmhand Caleb. And to not give too much away, but basically one of them is going to farm the actual arable land and the other one's going to farm the rest of the property that isn't actual farmland. It's just like woodland and like wild berries and shit like that. So it's a pretty good competition actually. So get around it for anyone who hasn't seen it. It's a good watch. Yeah. Even if you're not a farmer. I'm not a farmer by any stretch, but it's amusing. There you go. Yeah, so how long were yours for? 5 days, 4 days, 5 days in the end, Cody? Mate, it was absolutely amazing trip. It was nice to spend some time meeting your family and having a meal. And, it's a pity we didn't get you out for a hunt with us, man. But, it was a great time anyway, man.
But one thing I want to ask is we did see that you actually went out recently, last week.
Hey, yeah, true.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Yeah, so a while ago, my father-in-law is like, I haven't been out camping in ages. I want to get out and go for a shot. And I was like, oh, yeah, rightio. He goes, I've got access to this block. It's no one's shot on it for donkey's years. Like, do you want to come along? I hummed and hard about it, and I was like, I might give it a miss. Like, spend time with the family. And then I thought about it a bit more, and it was like, he asked me to go out shitting with him all the time. Like, I should probably just go out and spend some time with him and actually go out and do it. So I double checked and said, yeah, right, I'll come out with you. I'll come out with you for the day. I'll get up early and I'll spend the day with you. We'll have a look at this block. So him and another fella went out on the Friday to the block, and I was like, "There's like roos everywhere. There's goats, and there's actually deer here." I said, "Oh yeah, like that's all well and good." And then he sends me a message at like 10 o'clock at night. He goes, "Oh yeah, when you come out, they want to bring an esky." I was like, "Oh yeah, rightio." I'll grab the esky, put it in the car. I grab my gear and head out. Like, get out there, lo and behold, they shot 2 fallow spikes and they've got them hanging up in the tree.
Nice.
Said, "Oh yeah, buddy, had a bit of luck then." Said, "Yeah, no, we got a deer each already." I said, "Oh yeah, that's good." He goes, "Yeah, right. There's a white buck over the hill here that we saw yesterday. He was on the wrong side of the fence, but we're hoping he's going to be back over this morning." I said, "Oh rightio." Said, "Yeah, we'll go over there, and then we'll have a look at another spot. Then we'll concentrate on buddy culling a couple of roos." I said, "Oh yeah, righto. That sounds like a good plan." Jump in the ute, throw my rifle in. We go up over the hill and we see the mob of goats. I was going, "Oh yeah, there's a couple of goats here." "Yeah, no, we'll get a bit closer and see if we can have a pop at one." I said, "Oh yeah, rightio." I look at one of the goats. One of them looks a bit white. I was going, "That thing's like super white. It's like pure white. It's like a bloody giant cockatoo or something." And I had a look at it, and I could just see the movement in the shoulders. It was walking through a patch of tree of heaven, which is a noxious weed up here that you got to get rid of. It's like it's like a thin sort of a sapling type thing, and it grows really thick and quite fast. But anyway, he was moving through that, and I got the binos out and said, "I think that's your white fallow buck." But it was too thick for me to get a look to see if it was a doe or if it was a buck. He goes, "Oh, we'll just drive down here and we'll get a bit closer so we can have a look at it." I said, "Oh, yeah, rightio." Let him drive along, and he's driving over, sticks in there, buddy, hitting the side of the ute, making the big dong noise and echoing through the hills. And meanwhile, the goats and the deer, they're still got their heads down feeding and not giving a care in the world about this ute, buddy, driving towards them in this steep hill. And as we're getting close, I'm eyeing off one of the goats to the side. I'm just going, the colour of that thing just doesn't look right. The shape of it doesn't look normal. I don't think that's a goat. So as we get to a couple of trees, I'm going, "Can you just stop and reverse back a little bit?" Because, "Oh yeah, why is that?" So I just want to have a look at this goat here. It's just something seems off about it. So reverse back, I pull the binos up. And all I see is this great big palm that he on the side of the hill. I was like, "Holy shit, that's a fucking shooter."
Nice. Just chilling out with some goats.
He goes, "What?" I'm just going, that's like a big buck." He goes, "Oh, you better get out and shoot it then." I said, "Oh, right." So I pulled out the new rifle, which is a 6.5 PRC. Mounted with a Barris Eliminator 5. So I've nicknamed that my lazy man rifle. So I went down and I landed up on a tree, and this thing was completely relaxed. I did not care there was a ute there or car doors banging or anything. It was completely relaxed and fine. I ranged him at 116 on the scope. I said, "Yep, you beauty." He was still big palm on him. Let the shot off. He did a big jolt and spun around, and he looked like he was going to fall over, but I wanted to be sure, so I pumped another one into him, and he tumbled down.
Is this what you were saying about the 6.5s and not having enough punch?
No, that's the Creedmoors. BRC has a bit more of a punch, but yeah, between what I've used, I have just the PRC on the red deer, and it's definitely not a red deer gun.
Yeah, yep.
But it seems to be good for fallow, and it's actually pretty handy on the roos.
Fair enough.
So anyway, like, old boy's going like, "Oh yeah, so how good do you think it was?" I'm just going like, "I'm pretty sure this is going to be a PB fallow for me." He's, "Oh, fair dinkum." I'm going, "Yeah," and an old mate that was with him just goes, right, let's grab a pack and I'll grab my knives. We'll head up there and go get him. So we had to cross the river there, and I was like, I had my rifle, so I'll get the photo with it. And as I was walking across the riverbeds covered in boulders, like big little rocks.
Yep.
And I was slippery as shit. And I lost me footing, and I took a bit of a drink.
Ooh. With rifle?
So like I got,
Yeah.
fortunately I held the rifle up.
Oh, yeah.
So the rifle and the $4,000 scope was saved.
Lucky.
And luckily me phone didn't get wet either. It was in the upper side that didn't end up in the drink, but I always walk around with spongy socks for the rest of the day.
Sounds like you got an iPhone, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had a Samsung and they're waterproof.
So they claim.
Yeah.
I've dropped
anyway,
I've dropped one in the creek for 30 seconds before I could get it out, and it was fine.
Well, I've had mine pretty submerged as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do it now because it's cracked the back, but yeah.
Anyway, continue.
So anyway, we hiked up the hill to where the buck laid, and I could see the palm sticking out of the grass and just going, holy shit, he's fucking big. Walked up to it, and then I saw his other antler. I went, that's a bit of a stick antler. He was a cull.
Yeah, he's a bit lopsided, wasn't he?
Yeah, and I was like, no, I don't care. He's a cracking looking head. Like I'm pumped with that. Like that's me done for the day. Like if we can get on to any more deer, the other two can shoot them. Like I'll take this one happy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was talking to old mate, and it's going like he goes to deer like in this area. They're all like a fallow deer. Like some of them like have like a really good palm, and then like for some reason the opposite antler's like really shit. Like it's just part of the genetics. I'm just going, yeah, because he looks pretty healthy. Like he doesn't look like he's got like a broken leg or anything for him to get that bit of a mouth horn going. And he just goes, no, it's just the genes in the deer herds here. I went, oh, right, yeah, well, that's interesting. So anyway, Buddy got the head off him, butchered him up, got back to the car, and was like, right, we'll go to the good deer spot now. I'm going, oh, rightio. So we drove over to the spot that they called the good deer spot.
Yep.
G'day, bud.
Oh, yeah.
G'day.
Hey, mate, how you going? I recognise these guys.
He's like, what's going on here?
Say good night.
No.
No, mate.
Right, off to bed, bud.
Mum.
About his bedtime.
Yeah, no, it's fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we go to the good deer spot. We spotted 4 does, and they were in easy shooting range. It's like, oh, does anyone want to have a crack at them? I'm just going, oh, we still got meat from the spikers, and we got the meat off my buck now. I think we can let the does walk. So I right out, kept driving, get to a spot, and buddy see this white dot, and I pour the binos out and said, like, oh, that there's another cracking buck. And pour my rifle scope out because it's got bigger magnification on it.
Mm.
It was about 880 meters away. And I was like, and I could see, like, he had both palms, and he was good. I'm just going, like, I don't know who's going to shoot it, but he is a stonker. Like, he is he's worth putting the effort into trying to get.
Nice.
And it's like, oh, yeah, look, oh, yeah, there's a couple deer below us. It's like, oh, yeah, and then like 7 fellow walked out with another little buck trailing behind them, and there was another white buck bedding underneath a tree not too far away. And I'm just going, shit, like imagine what this place could have been like a month ago during the rut. Like, it's been cracking.
Mm.
And then old mate's going, like, said, oh, yeah, no, like, he's definitely a shooter, but there's only one problem. I said, oh, yeah, why is that? That fence that's right in front of us, that's the boundary. Rightio. We'll leave him alone then.
Bugger.
Absolute bugger.
How big did you say this one was, you reckon he was?
I don't have a like I'm not really all that good with judging fallow, like to know like
Yeah, okay.
how big they are, but like I'm pretty like
He was
the
impressive.
palms would be it. Like it was like he was like dinner plates.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, you don't actually get what you were saying when we were out there having a chat to you one afternoon. You don't actually get a lot of time to actually go hunting yourself these days, do you? It's mainly just what he did with us is sort of got us out there, and well, these two enjoyed themselves. But I enjoyed myself. I just didn't get the trophy. But yeah, you sort of seem to spend a lot of your time giving people access to actually hunt rather than shooting yourself.
For the ruts, I do anyway, because it's just it's the time of year everyone wants to get out, and it's the time when it's to be best out in the bush to actually find a reasonable stag.
Yep.
So and just the way the work went, I usually try to sneak out once or twice for myself, but I couldn't get it to line up this year at all, just because the work out at Forbes and whatnot. So it's but usually I'll make up for it now, just through the work, just because it's the winter times and like animals are sticking out more. Like I saw me and the family went out setting pig traps up, and like we all were bumping reds and fallow deer on the way to the pig trap.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I want to find a big one, I can probably nearly knock one over during the winter months. But most of my effort now will be put into pig control.
Yep. Yeah, well, that's it. It's not like they're not there anymore. It's just they don't make as much noise. And carry on. Makes it a little bit harder, but, it's even slightly more rewarding potentially that if you manage to come across something outside of the rut. Whatever works for you, man.
We've shot 12 and 13 pointers in like July and August, so like it's not uncommon to happen. It's just like it's the raw and ruts, like when you, I don't know, it's distracted. It's just the prime time.
Oh, that's it. It pointed me in the right direction. Just follow the sound.
I see. You did help it then. It wasn't all by yourself.
Well, no other human help. We'll say that.
Yeah.
But it was a good rut. I was glad to get out there, especially kind of missed out last year. It was a bit of a shit one. We did get out a bit later on in the season. That's when Josh got his 13-point red. I think that was more towards June by the time we got out. But my rut itself was sort of non-existent last year.
So mine wasn't either.
So to put it in perspective, like obviously you thought your stag was a 15-pointer.
Yeah.
How did you feel when I came along and told you it was 18?
Sheepish.
No, you didn't want. I feel like you didn't want to believe it straight away.
I didn't want to believe it because I didn't. I would still say 17 at max. I don't know where you're getting 18 from now. Like this is not a fishing story.
Yeah, next week it'll be 19.
But there was some logic behind.
Well, technically it could have been 19.
Oh, no,
but it's the fact that
stop.
But what's the reason it's? The reason it's not a 19, like here's how we came up with the 18 as the number.
Yep.
The official rules for the Douglas scoring system, and I talked to a measurer for trophy takers, which is the biggest Australian bow hunting community there is, because he recently measured the 15-point stag that was taken a couple of weeks before you guys showed up.
Yep.
And it went. I think he measured 257 Douglas.
Okay.
Which would rank him as number 26 in the country.
Whoa.
So obviously this guy knows a bit. So I asked him, so like, what classes as a point? Like, where is it just nonsense? And the official rule is if you can hang a ring off the point, it counts as a point, whether it's broken or not.
Okay.
So So the little nubs that are above the brows, they were both broken off, but they would have been times that they're at a point, but you can still hang a ring off it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely. I just
So
felt, I felt embarrassed to count them.
All
but-
right, so we'll call it a 16 and a half then.
Look, it's,
so back to what I was saying before
yeah,
is how we came up with how it could have been a 19 is that there was I did run my thumb along the spot where you could feel there was a break.
yep.
So there would have been a point there, but because there's no way you could have hung a ring off it,
True.
then you couldn't. Then there's no way to count it. So that's why he remained at the 18 mark and not a 19.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, he's out the back still. So I've still got to get him to the taxiderm. My missus is absolutely, livid with me because I'm taking up an entire drawer in the freezer with the cape at the moment. So gotta get that out of there sooner rather than later. But
just distract her, and by taking it out of the freezer, send it away, and then put it on the wall.
look, she will listen to this. I do not want to start this argument again. So
Yeah, we'll leave that to a separate podcast.
but yeah, no,
We'll
look,
get it right. We'll have a debate.
Cody, you were kind enough to boil it out and get the high pressure on it as well, so we didn't have to smell it all the way home, the 13.5-hour drive back to Adelaide. And I must say, mate, look, I was prepared to just cop it and like wrap it up in plastic bags and stuff, but I must say it was much more pleasant not smelling that and just smelling Josh the whole time. So thank you.
Obviously I didn't get to go hunt with you guys, and I was only there for a little bit of the time, so I was more than willing to help out in any way I could. So like, whoever was at the skin out Josh's deer and then clean up both heads for you both to take home to make things a little bit more pleasant. Then I'm happy to do that for you.
Cheers, mate.
Well,
you're a good bloke.
I want to throw him under the bus too. So while you were kind enough to clean up, Caleb's and Josh's heads that they got, so Caleb was there just giving him a hand where he could be, and just sort of observing and watching, and then we sort of look around and like, where's Josh? Josh has wandered like 200 meters up this hill. He's trying to find service again. While his head's getting cleaned by Cody, Josh is off trying to, send a few like winky faces and probably peaches and eggplants. But I just wanted to throw him under the bus for that. He just sort of disappeared, and
that's fair. It's pretty off-brand for him to not chip in or not try and be involved in any sort of manual labour. And in his defence, again, his missus was heavily pregnant, not yet dropping the baby at that point, but still, mate, like, you've been without reception for hours and hours. Another half hour ain't going to matter.
No.
Just chill.
Yeah.
Well, my missus was giving him a hard time for bloody being there and just going, shit, you're pushing it.
He knew it.
Oh, yeah. No, that was he did have to cancel the trip after that one. He did have something else booked in, and he had to can that because that was running way too fine. But
we're going to have to dig up some old audio from the podcast, maybe like season 1 to 3 probably was where he's hottest, with just being like, nah, mate, you just strap it on your back, take that bush, just go hunting, just do it. Lock him in the car, he'll be fine.
Crack a window, mate.
Crack a window, exactly. If he's not back to the range every weekend and baby in the car with the window cracked, then I'm just calling him out as a liar, basically.
Oh, you can teach him just to change the stickers on the target. Just get a little range to him.
Well, I'll throw him under the bus again, since we're doing that. It's what day? As we record this, his child is nearly a week old. Not quite. He has not changed the nappy yet.
Oh,
I'm like, bro, how long do you think that's going to last, my friend? He's like,
why?
"No, no."
He thinks he's not going to change one.
I don't know. Well,
That's the woman's job.
yeah. I think that's kind of the you know, Josh. Yeah, I'm like, bro, it's gonna happen. You're gonna find yourself in a world of nappies, and say goodbye to your free time, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Josh.
I change more. I probably change equal or probably a little bit more nappies than the missus does.
Yeah, okay.
Good man.
Because I sit there and I spend like just going like, oh, I don't want him to sit in that and just get it done. Just grab him and go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the pressure washer out and you'll be fine.
Yeah, it seems like the world's grossest thing, but when it's your own kid, somehow you're just like, whatever, just get it done. You get shat on and pissed on and vomited on, and I don't know, you just deal with it because it's your own flesh and blood. Where I will say though, where I draw the line is the people that suck the snot out of their child's noses with their mouths. Those people can fuck right off.
Fuck off.
Fuck right off. There's no way in hell you're seeing me cut my lips over my child's nostrils and suck snot out.
That's real. I've never seen that.
Dude, people do it.
I've never been to a school as a parent though either.
Until I had children, I didn't realize there's such thing as a snot sucker, which is basically like, imagine like a rubber ball with a like a nozzle on it, and you squeeze it, put it up their nose and release it, and it sucks the snot out. Because sometimes they can't blow their nose. They can't blow their nose. But there's people out there that suck snot directly from the nostrils and then just spit it out.
Just blow
it.
I'm still trying to teach my kid how to blow his nose. He just can't wrap his head around it.
No, they can't do it, eh? Like,
and just go, just do that and go. No, not with your mouth, with your nose. Like, just do it. It's like, no, I'm good. Rightio, mate. You do you.
I have trauma from my old man making me blow my nose as a kid, and it's like drilled into my head. It's like, right, left side, blow, right side, blow, right, both together, blow. Like, it was such an ordeal. It got all the snot out though.
It's totally a sex tape.
Let us know if you're one of those freaks that sucks the snot out of your child's nose. Do you swallow or spit that shit out?
Oh, don't ask that question.
I'm so uncomfortable right now. It's gross.
Stop it.
Those people need shame. Anyway.
Nearly dry reached.
Yeah.
Ooh.
On that note, I think we should probably wrap this thing up because it's
kicked along pretty well.
It's getting late. The family man needs to get back to his family. And
thanks for being on, Cody.
Yeah,
appreciate having you.
No worries at all.
Yeah, can't thank you enough, man, for hosting us, you and the family, and it was a pleasure. Look forward to spending time together again soon.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a trip down.
We did have all
TikTok
intentions.
country.
Yeah, we'll definitely get something worked out. We did have all intentions to record this when you fellas were up here, but you were fucked.
Oh,
I took these fellas to the pub for tea. It's like, you know what, like you've earned a pub meal. Like let's you come out with the family. We'll have a pub feed, and as you know, tea was getting served. Buddy, I could look across and here's young Caleb, buddy, fucking nodding off at the table.
Yeah, man, I was wrecked. I was physically absolutely spent. So yeah, you're right. You raise a fair point. We were going to record this in person, but didn't happen. So thanks for freeing yourself up, man, from your family time and hanging out with us again. And it's kind of worked out well because there's no Josh, so you can make the trio
smoothly.
complete. No one wants to hear from him. Bloody hell. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up there, Couchy. You got anything else you want to add? What's going to happen this season? What's happening? What are we doing? Like, what's going on?
Jeez, definitely going to have to have more guests on this season. So I'll have to start organising those.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think that's going to be our focus this season because we were sort of lacked it last season with, everything's up in the air, but now we've got our roots in the ground and we sort of can get a routine happening again. I reckon we'll get some people on.
Yep.
So,
definitely.
listen out and See how we
Fucking
go.
hell, mate. 3 seasons in. Can you fucking
Yeah.
lift? Jesus.
Well, I started talking, and then I'm like, I have no idea where I'm going with this. Nah. Didn't know how to finish it. That was the problem.
Oh, crikey. All right. Well, we'll leave it there. We'll
That's
leave
what
it
she
there.
said.
Very true. All right. Well, we've got to wait. Season 8, episode 1. Thanks for joining us once again. You've been listening to Centre Made Podcast, 2/3 of it anyway, plus Cody, the meme master, the podcast slut. Thanks, Cody. We'll catch you again soon. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Guys, catch ya.
Catch ya.
I miss this noise.
G'day, dude and dudettes. Josh here. Do you find it hard to keep your long, hard barrels free from gun STDs? Maybe you need a clean out of your bore. If this is you, jump on over to highcaliber.com.au and use the promo code SENDITMATE to receive a 10% discount on all your gun cleaning needs. And remember, it's sexy to support Australian-made products. Everyone here at Send It Mate uses high caliber, and we can promise you that it'll keep your firearms free from those pesky gun STDs.